What's up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and I am doing things just a very, very little bit different today. I'm not in a collared shirt. There is one very, very, very important reason for that, and that's not because I'm too lazy to do laundry. It's not because my washer's broken or something like that. It's because merch. I definitely got some in. I'm going to try to move the microphone out of the way. And check that out. All you podcast listeners, well, you're just going to have to go over to YouTube. Although I will try to paint a verbal picture for you. It is a black Gildan 100% cotton t-shirt with the oh so beautiful Joe's Disc Golf logo with thank you Treesus underneath, established in 2020 with yours truly in the center of the logo. That's how all the logo is. That's how that goes. That's what that is. But fear not, listener, viewer, incredible human being that is out there. You too can own a piece of Joe's Disc Golf because, I mean, merch. It's actually the stuff like this t-shirt is super comfy. I actually really enjoy it. I'm waiting to get a polo shirt in. We have polo shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, fleece hoodies, 2 different types of coffee mugs. There's plenty of stuff there. So hopefully that stuff will all be going out. It is all print on demand. So you might be used to ordering from Amazon and getting your stuff within like 2 days or less, depending on where you live, next to a distribution center or not. You're used to going out and just getting whatever you want. Boom, right there. Drop of a dime, drop of a hat, lickety split. But that's just not how things go here with Joe's Disc Golf. We use a print-on-demand service, which means when you order it, they make it. Obviously, they have black t-shirts, white t-shirts, gray t-shirts. We have a whole bunch of different color t-shirts that you can order this all in. But just to be clear, when you order it is when they print it. Same with the coffee cups, same with everything else. And that's just how that goes. So from the time you order it to the time you get it, takes about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how that all shakes out. It takes them 4 or 5 days to get the shirt, sweatshirt, whatever printed out, because it is a big service that does a whole bunch of different things or works with a whole bunch of different content creators, yours truly included. I picked them not because they are the fastest or slowest, but because the quality of their merchandise is the best. It is high quality stuff. The prints are high quality. You can't quite tell as I'm talking here on the camera. It's kind of hard to tell. It's not coming through exactly 100% clear, and that's more so on the camera that I'm using. I've got it tuned with a fine slathering of Vaseline to make me look even better. But it is super comfy. The print is super high quality. It should hold up to the wash. I've already washed it once, and it's fine. Obviously, things can go through the wash more than once, but that's just how that goes. We also have hats, beanies, basically, just in case, it's cold out still. Today we're getting like 4 or 5 inches of snow after it was 50 degrees the other day, and everything kind of melted. But just wanted to plug that a little bit here, and all of that stuff goes to help keep the lights on, the website up, and all that stuff going. If you've been to the website, you might notice it is a little bit slow. And that is because the service I'm using with your support through buying Joe's Disc Golf merchandise or anchor.fm/Joe's Disc Golf and supporting the podcast/YouTube channel through that. There is a little drop down area where you can donate like $1, $5 or $10, up to you. Every penny helps get things up to the highest quality standards possible. Obviously, if you go ahead and buy some merch, then you get something out of it more than just fantastic content and a website that runs hopefully faster. With any luck, I will be in the next 6 to 9 months migrating to a faster server, but that costs money, and breaking the contract that I have now, it would cost more money than it's worth than to run it out. At least at this point, the website doesn't get too much traffic, and I'm doing things on the back end to hopefully speed things up as much as I possibly can. Otherwise, I'm sorry, guys, but if you want to go to joesdiscgolf.com/shop, you will be able to find all the lovely options of different merchandise out there, getting new stuff out all the time. If you're a fan of Half in the Bag, the other weekly podcast that's going on right now with Ben, RJ, and myself, all talking about disc golf and a whole bunch of fun different things there, then, well, you are in luck. We are working on a logo for Half in the Bag, and we'll be getting some sweet-looking swag there. Now, hopefully, you guys are all interested in that. And if not, hey, no worries, no harm, no foul. Try to keep this brief, even though it's been about 5 minutes. But, hey, I'm just super excited to get this stuff out there. Like, it's just exciting to me that I have something that's tangible that you guys can have, that you guys can wear, and that is also super comfy and super high quality. So looking at doing that, looking at rolling over to 600 YouTube subscribers. So if you're listening to this and not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're missing out on some great content, including a warm-up video, a cool-down video that is coming up. I thought about putting it out now, but I think I'll wait till after the Las Vegas Challenge because everybody's paying attention to disc golf. Everybody's attention is going to Jomez. So maybe I'll put it out. Maybe I'll not. Maybe I'll wait. Who knows? Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Capiche? That's about it. Now that we're into this, let's thank our fake sponsor, Log. What rolls downstairs, a loner in pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and it fits on your back? It's Log, Log, Log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's Log from Blammo. And on top of that, we've got a little word from Anchor.fm. For those of you on YouTube, you did not hear that. But that's just how that goes. Now, we got a couple things to talk about here. The first day of Las Vegas Challenge, because I record this on Thursday nights, has just completed, and it was actually pretty exciting. I'm going to save this because we're going to start doing a bonus-ish extra episode the days after, the Monday after the final round has finished, or so, give or take, weather conditions and all that stuff. So basically, what I'm saying is I'm going to do a complete just round recap and get everything talked about on a separate episode there right after the tournament ends. Hopefully get that out the Monday or Tuesday after. Trying not to compete too much with Half in the Bag because that is the other podcast we're part of and part of the Joe's Disc Golf Podcast Network. And yeah, pretty sweet there. So just going to talk a little bit about it. If you were paying attention today, you probably saw that I tweeted out, many people tweeted out, Disc Golf Network was having some problems with their service. Surprise, surprise. This felt like USDGC all over again, except, fortunately, instead of this being during the final couple holes of USDGC, and the playoff, which I did not get to see holes 17, 18, and then they went back to hole 1, I think, and that was it. Did not get to see any of that because they had issues with their content delivery network service, Vimeo, and they started having issues again. I guess they didn't expect that everyone who got to see it for free on the PDGA with their PDGA membership, plus all the normal subscribers, I guess they weren't expecting, tons and tons and tons of people to watch it because on YouTube, I don't know what the peak was, but at one point I saw at least 9,000 people watching the FPO. And then at one point, I think it was 14 or 15,000 watching MPO. And that was just on YouTube. And I think for the MPO side, they got things figured out and we're back up and running. So that number is far higher. But let's just take a minute to think about that. If it was 15,000 for FPO, just take that MPO number and throw it down there. Because you never know. I mean, that's probably a fair number. There are probably a bunch of people who didn't see that it did go to YouTube and that you could watch it for free today on YouTube. It was frustrating. And that's about all I have to say for that. I'm hoping that they are figuring things out, especially when they offer it as part of the PDGA, like it was part of your membership benefit. So you're trying to sell a product to a whole bunch of people who are probably iffy at best on your product. They're like, should I pay for it? Should I not? And their first experience is trying to watch the FPO card, which was Paige, Evelina, Kristen, and Henna. And then you drop the ball, essentially. It's frustrating because I thought we got these details hammered out last year. The whole scout motto, be prepared. Prepare for those worst case scenarios. Go, all right, we expect 6,000 people to watch. Let's double that. Just to be safe. We're going to peak at, it was 9,000 was the peak that I saw on YouTube. And it was could have been far higher than that. I don't know what their back end looks like on Vimeo. YouTube's is clearly better because it handled it no problem once they got everything all switched over. I don't know what the answer to that is, the correct answer. That's kind of out of my scope. Yes, I do content creation, but I don't do live as much as I used to. And my max audience size for that was like 7, maybe 10 if you include the handful of people that were on Twitch and on YouTube. But that's just kind of how that goes. So some frustrating stuff there. But exciting stuff to see. That was a fun card to watch. It didn't exactly pan out like everybody thought it would, but it was pretty close. And my FPO predictions are still well in the hunt. I said Paige would get third, Kristen would take second, and Evelina would take first. Right now, Evelina is sitting in fifth, and she's only 3 strokes behind Paige and Katrina, who's tied at first. And then Kristen and Natalie Ryan are tied at third at 6 strokes under par. So far, so good. Couple strokes here and there. Things are going to change. It's going to be all hunky-dory. We're all going to be great. And one thing, one of my friends had texted me. He hadn't watched much live disc golf before, but since it was free on YouTube, and I happily texted that out to him and said, hey, buddy, you check it out. You can watch it for free. You don't even have to have a PDGA membership because he doesn't have a PDGA membership. And you can just watch it. Anybody can watch it for free. And he said, wow, the things that they're saying about Natalie Ryan are pretty terrible. And this is the people in YouTube chat, not commentators. Commentators, fortunately, did not see any of the YouTube comments because, as I mentioned in my FPO round recap, to say it was a dumpster fire would be the understatement of the year. And yes, I know we're still only in February. That's like saying the sky is blue, the sun is bright, and water is wet. YouTube live chat is a hot mess, and a whole bunch of other words that I don't want to use right now. The things that they were saying were pretty terrible. If I'm being at my most generous, fair amount of them were not articulating their points as well as they should have or could have. There were some, how do I want to say this? Potentially valid points buried in the hot garbage. But at the same time, there's no reason to take it out on Natalie Ryan, who is doing nothing wrong. She is following the rules that the PDGA has set down, that the DGPT follows, and I think the rules do need to be looked at in general to prevent further issues in general. Not saying that there's an issue right now, but to help try to prevent future abuse, because once more money, I said this before in a couple podcasts ago, once more money comes into this sport, people without morals will do lots of things for money. And I'm not saying that this is the case here at all. I do not believe that at all. I believe Natalie is doing this because that's how she feels. That's how I think I said that in the correct way. I'm not throwing shade or trying to disrespect anyone. That's not how I roll. I will call out people and networks and whatever for constructive criticisms and things I think they're doing wrong. But in this case, Natalie is not doing anything wrong. She is completely and 100% as far as I can tell, abiding by the rules. Provided, I don't know, could she be throwing an illegal disc? Yeah. Could everybody out there be throwing an illegal disc? Probably, yeah. Does anybody check or do anything with that? No, not at all. But that's a separate conversation. But that is also why, part of the reason why, there is a whole new medical subcommittee that I talked about, again, a couple podcasts ago, all about looking at the rules and how to implement things surrounding transgendered athletes, specifically in disc golf. So that is a whole separate medical topic. I thought about joining that medical committee, but then I realized I don't have enough knowledge or time to be able to effectively commit to it, to give accurate, to give it the proper amount of time that it deserves. I am a medical professional. I'm an athletic trainer. I do sports medicine. Sports are kind of my thing. We've been kind of working through this through a couple of the conferences I've worked at the college level, and it's hairy in the NCAA. There's no easy answers. There never are in life, but in general, there's no easy answer. From what I can tell, there hasn't been a right or at least correct-ish answer. Either way, it always feels like someone is getting hurt emotionally one way or the other, and I honestly have no idea what the right way to go about this is. But I will say, yelling at someone on the internet gets you pretty much nowhere, especially in the YouTube chat comments, where it's just, you got people like me calling you out for being a dumbass. I'm just going to borrow Red Foreman's. Don't be a dumbass. Shove my foot up your ass. Kick your ass, that kind of stuff. Don't do it. Don't be stupid. That's about it. That's about it. That's about all I'm going to talk about, because I don't feel like that belongs in a overall tournament recap that I'm going to be doing here next week. Get subscribed if you aren't already. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, hit that little red button if it is red. If it's not red, that means you are subscribed. If it is red, you need to subscribe. Hit that little bell icon. That'll give you notifications, hopefully, who knows. I've had some issues recently where my numbers have been going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we are 13 people away from the lovely round number of 600 YouTube subscribers. So go ahead and get subscribed for that. There will be a giveaway at 600, but I won't announce what that is until we hit 600, and then we'll go from there, and I'll tell you how to enter and how to do all that fun jazz.
The prize is going to be something disc golf related.
But hey, you didn't hear it from me. And who would have guessed, right? Who would have guessed? Not me. Not at all. So that is that. Speaking of the Disc Golf Pro Tour production plan for 2022, we got to see their shiny new drone a lot. People like playing with their new toys and showing off their expensive ones. And good Lord, they really loved showing off that drone at Wild Horse. Curious what kind of permits they had to pull. From what I understand, the FAA has really been cracking down on drones, especially those near an airport. And Wild Horse is real close to the airport. So who knows? But the shots looked good. I thought it looked good. I thought everything improved from what we saw at the All-Star weekend. It didn't feel as rushed, as slapped together as it did before. So that, hey, that's good. They're shaking off the rust, and I'm happy for them. Like I said, all my criticisms for the All-Star weekend from start to finish were coming from a place of care. I want them to get better. I do, because when they have a better product, it makes me want to watch even more, spread the word even more, get more people to watch Disc Golf Live, hopefully. You never know. Disc Golf Live is a fairly big time commitment. You're looking like 6, 7, 8 hours easy. Fortunately, with my job, I'm able to turn it on in the background and able to watch it. Working in sports medicine, you can throw sports on in the background. Haha, funny how that all works out. Unfortunately, I didn't catch as much of the MPO as I would have liked, only because I had to drive home, and when I started my commute, that's when the snowstorm, storm in quotes, hit. It kind of dumped like 2-3 inches here in like an hour, and then it was done. The problem was during that hour is when I was driving, so my normal 40-ish minute commute took more like an hour and a half. So I did not get to watch much of the MPO. But moving on to the Disc Golf Pro Tour's overall media plan, they announced right before this started that Jomez will pay them $500,000, $250,000 each year, 2022 and 2023, for the post-production rights for the MPO lead card. So we're going to be continuing to get Jomez, Big Sexy, Big Barry, Sexy everyone commentary, all the different variations of the commentary with Big Germ, Yuli, and Nate Sexton, all given their fantastic commentary there. GK Pro has signed a 1-year deal to cover the FPO lead card. Gatekeeper Media will handle the MPO chase card for 2022 and 2023. Currently, the DGPT is working with GK Pro and Central Coast to provide post-produced coverage for the Silver Series for the DGPT's YouTube channel, not for GK's and Central Coast's YouTube channel. So things are changing a bit there, just a little bit, but I think it'll be all right. I'm wondering if that's going to be some kind of deal where the Pro Tour pays them only because it's being hosted on the Pro Tour's channel rather than on GK and Central Coast. So they're not getting any ad revenue for that. But who really knows? No other numbers were given out about what GK is paying for FPO lead or Gatekeepers paying for MPO chase. But I don't think it's $500,000. I would imagine that it is a pretty sizable chunk of change, though. That's pretty crazy. Jonathan Jomez, owner, founder, mathematician, wizard, accounting wizard, video wizard that he is over at Jomez Pro. Wow, it's like it's named after him, sort of. At Jomez Pro, our mission is to share our love of the sport of disc golf across the world through our media channels. Through our partnership with the Disc Golf Pro Tour and our first multi-year agreement, we're able to create a long-term media strategy that will allow us to serve the community in new and exciting ways. And I will say that is pretty exciting. Disc golf is rapidly turning into one of the quote-unquote real sports. All of a sudden, now players are getting agents. We've got multi-year media agreements here. We've got, places like Jomez paying the Pro Tour to cover things, just like it works in any other sport. CBS buys the right to the PGA tournaments. I don't know if they cover them all or if they cover, like the Masters or, specific tournaments here and there. That's kind of out of my realm. It's Fox paying the NFL to pick up the NFC and CBS paying the NFL to pick up the AFC and, whoever pays the MLB to play whatever. And you got everybody playing, like hockey and all that, paying all the different ones there. So that's pretty sweet there. That's a pretty sweet deal. GK Pro and Gatekeeper Media will also provide some additional coverage to the majors, which is pretty fantastic since we have 4 this year and one of them is in Europe. So I don't know how that's all going to go. Gatekeeper will handle the chase card coverage for PDGA World Championships and the Champions Cup. GK Pro will cover the FPO lead card for PDGA Worlds, Champions Cup, and USWDGC. There is no word, again, on what they're paying for those rights. Pretty hefty penny, I would surmise. Maybe not the $500,000, like I said, but probably a pretty healthy chunk of change. Jeff Spring had this to say. He is the head honcho, the cheese, the big cheese, the guy in charge, the man upstairs. He's the one that you talk to for the Disc Golf Network and Disc Golf Pro Tour. We are thrilled to bring back the full team of post-production media partners from 2021. The value generated through media in 2022 will be put right back into event support, continued purse growth, and another record-breaking DGPT championship payout. The disc golf industry has seen incredible progress and development. Working together, and these agreements strengthen all parties and given disc golf fans the high-quality post-produced coverage that they've come to know and love. Pretty much, if you go on Reddit, when it's not red hot garbage of people trashing each other, second only to YouTube live chat, it is, when is Jomez production coming out for XYZ tournament, for Las Vegas Challenge? When are we seeing Jomez? Why isn't Jomez doing this? Why isn't Jomez doing that? Jomez has a pretty solid product. I think Gatekeeper and GK and Central Coast also have a pretty solid product, but I think Jomez is kind of approaching that point of Kleenex, where Kleenex is a specific name brand, but everybody calls facial tissue Kleenex. Q-tips are not Q-tips, they're cotton tip applicators, but Q-tip is a popular thing. We're going to get to the point where it's Jomez. When are we seeing the Jomez, which is just shorthand for post-produced coverage? So you can read the whole thing on Joe's Disc Golf. It is one of the news articles up there. You could read the full statement from the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It is up on their website, and pretty exciting stuff there. So I'm going to run through my predictions here. A little bit late. The tournament has already started, but I am not far off, at least on the FPO side. So on the FPO side, I'm going to start there. We had a lot of excitement going on today and a lot of things that weren't necessarily what I thought would happen, but hey, we're still good. So I put Paige Pierce in third place because she's wasn't looking that great at the All-Star event. I wasn't sure how she was going to handle here. I wasn't sure what the Europeans were going to do, if they're going to rattle her or not. Turns out it was or not. It looks like she rattled the Europeans. Some of them, maybe not Kristen Tatar, but they look like they're like, oh, whoa, Paige. Hey, it's Paige here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. And then as they kind of slowly settled in, they looked more and more comfortable. And Evelina and Henna and Kristen all started to play where they should play. Henna not being some of her best performance right now. She's currently tied for 20th at 1 under par, but I'll get to her in a little bit. So I have Paige Pierce taking third place, and we'll see how I do on the year. I think I will go with the Wordle strategy here, which is if any of my three make it into the 3, I get 1 point. And if I get them in the right spot, I get 3 points. And I think that's a good way to do it. What am I betting against? I don't know. But I also made these same predictions on Half in the Bag. So we'll see how that goes there, where we're actually fighting against each other. In second place, I have Kristen Tatar. Right now, she's currently tied for third place at 6 under par with Natalie Ryan. And I think she's about where she is. I think it's fine. This is her first round in the United States now. She's got that under. We're going to get into other courses here. They don't play the Infinite Course layout again. Actually, tomorrow in round 2, they will be playing the trying to find it here. It's not telling me in an easily findable location, but that's all right. Oh, wait, hang on. I bet you if I do it this way. Yo. Here we go. Map. We will be at the Innova course, which is, I believe, the most technical out of the courses. It has got a decent length, somewhere around 8,000 feet. For the women, I think it's just a tad bit shorter than that, but I think Kristen will do pretty well there. Kind of depends on how the wind is doing, but we'll see. I'm taking down first place. I have Evelina Salonen. And right now, Evelina is sitting in fifth place, a solo fifth place at 5 under par. She'll be top of the chase, and we'll see how things go tomorrow. I'm super stoked to watch this. This is at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. So figure that out for your different time zones. It's not that hard. Central, you're at 11. Mountain, you're at 10. Pacific, I already told you. And if you're not there, you should be there already. But that's all right. That is what it is. Round one for the men's has been way more interesting. I have Ricky Wysocki in third place. And right now he is currently sitting tied for fourth at 9 under par with everybody else playing this tournament because holy crap, everybody is tied for fourth place. You have Seppo Payu, Ricky Wysocki, Kevin Jones, Calvin Heimberg, Adam Hams, Nathan Queen, Peter Lund, Chris Pinegar, Dan Brooks Wells, Tristan Tanner, and Brody Smith, all tied for fourth place. So that is pretty crazy. Seppo gets the bump up to the lead card with Chris Dickerson, Eagle McMahon, and Gannon Burr. Second place, I have Ezra Aderhold, who is not doing well. I need to find him. Ezra is currently at 5 under par, tied for 42nd. He's got some work to do to help me get that second place finish. And Calvin Heimberg is sitting also tied for fourth. He will be on the chase card. He's sitting at 9 down. Chris Dickerson shooting the hot round at 11 under. Even Dickerson said he wasn't sure if that was going to stick or not, but that's just kind of how that goes. I had Ricky just because in third place. I'll just go back a little bit here. I had Ricky in third place only because I think he's still kind of getting used to the DD bag and getting used to those discs again, and that he'll have a handful of shots where it doesn't go exactly like he is used to a disc going. Like he'll pull something out and go, oh, that faded just a bit sooner, that went straighter just a bit longer, little tiny minutia that you just don't get until after you've played with them for quite a while. In second place, like I said, Ezra, he shot really well at the All-Star event. And last year he managed to get a second place tie with Calvin Heimberg. And Calvin Heimberg I'm expecting big things out of this year because it is contract Calvin. He's a contract hunter right now because he's hunting for a contract, either renewal, extension with Innova, or maybe he's going somewhere else. I don't know where he would go off the top of my head. I don't know who has the money to pay him because, Discmania is pretty financially going to be in a rough spot between Eagle Simon and Kyle. I believe it's Kyle. And then you've got DGA's kind of full with Marweed and Allen. And then you have Dynamic Discs has spent a lot of money this year between MPO and FPO. And Discraft has spent a lot of money again. I don't know where Calvin would go, where he would be the top dog and get paid for it. Because, he goes to Discraft, and you got Macbeth there, and Dickerson, and Calvin, I'd say, are pretty even. You go to one of the trilogy names, and then you've got Ricky right there. And Matty-O, he's right there too, so he's not going to be the top dog there. DGA, he'd be the top dog. He'd beat out Marweed, but does DGA have that kind of money? I don't know. I'll be curious where Calvin goes. Where in the world is Calvin Heimberg? We could do a whole series about that. Where in the world is he? It's like there's a TV show all about that back in the 90s called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. But where in the world is Calvin Safety Harbor? That's where he's from. It doesn't roll off the tongue as Carmen Sandiego. Calvin Safety Harbor. But, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be interesting to see how Calvin plays this year. Other than that, I got nothing. I think that is a good place to end it. Bit of a shorter episode here. Not as much to talk about without getting into the details of the whole tournament here. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, send this to your friends, get the word out there. Joe's Disc Golf Podcast, Joe's Disc Golf YouTube channel. Got some new videos coming out soon, workout videos and whatnot, getting you all ready for the disc golf season here. It's beach season. Got 2 tickets to the gun show. No, I don't. But anyway, Chew, I will, keep you guys up informed. I will be probably tweeting about the Pro Tour stop at Las Vegas Challenge here. The other big news that I totally forgot to talk about, Matty-O had to drop out of the tournament because, he can't handle little appendicitis. God, what a jerk. Totally screwed up my skip ace. It was just how selfish of him to get appendicitis in Vegas. Jeez. But in all seriousness, wish him the best. He already had his appendix removed in Las Vegas. He is, by the time this comes out, he's already home, comfortable. He's going to be out of disc golf for a little while. A couple years ago, I had my appendix removed, and I was under lifting restrictions for at least, I think it was 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, where I couldn't lift anything heavier than 5 pounds, 10 pounds, something like that. Not to mention the fact that when I was not taking my medication, doing things like standing and turning slightly were not fun. And then I coughed and I thought I wanted to die. And then I sneezed once, not long after I had my appendix out, and I begged for someone to put me out of my misery. So I'm not saying it is the worst pain you will ever have, but I will say that it is absolutely miserable. And we probably won't see him on tour for a couple weeks, which, hey, get better, feel better, Matty-O. Rooting for you, man. I see big things coming for you this year once you get past the appendicitis. So now I believe that wraps up everything. So again, socials, Joe's Disc Golf, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, wherever, YouTube, podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from, we're probably there. And if you aren't, then you're probably on some obscure podcast platform that I don't even know about. And, tweet at me. Maybe I'll get on it. Who knows? I don't know. Depends how convoluted it is to get signed up. Some of these places, it is a huge pain in the butt. Other places, it's super easy. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But thank you all for watching. I've been Joe. You've been awesome. Don't forget to thank Treesus when you get kicked back into the middle of the fairway, because you have done good things, and Treesus is repaying the favor. And if you kick deeper into the woods and have a poor lie, you have transgressed against Treesus, and you need to repent and reflect. So thank you all for watching. I can't wait to see you all on the next show, which will be coming out much sooner than you think.